Alright, yo, peace everybody, it's your boy Trader Creator and welcome to Creators Corner. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the video as well as hit the notification bell. Also, if you like to help out the channel while getting some free stocks and crypto, please hit my Robinhood link in the description as well as my Coinbase link in the description. Okay, so what we gonna start at today? I think I should start off with probably the most recent news. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have become the 46th president and vice president of the United States. So what does this mean for us as Black Americans, those of us that identify as ADOS, those of us who identify as foundational Black Americans, American descendants of freedmen, Native Blacks, descendants of American slaves? What does this mean for us as a group? This means that we have a lot of work to do, because I'm going to go over some of Biden's first, and this is stuff that's already been signed, by the way, too, but I'm going to go over some of Biden's first 100 orders of executive orders, and I'm going to walk this into something a little bit later on. Biden has mandated and signed off on mask requirements. Okay, these are, of course, I would expect him to do some little COVID procedures. Mask requirements, rejoin the World Health Organization, the Paris Climate Accord, and reviewing Trump's rollback on Arctic National Wildlife Refuges. Okay, that's light stuff. I would expect a Democrat to do that. Now let's get to the meat of Joe Biden's plans. Immigration. Now, what does he plan on doing from immigration? He plans on ending travel bans on Muslims. So that means he's doing something specifically for another group. Okay. Now, the border wall. But that's one thing. Number two, the border wall. He's gonna immediately stop the building of the border wall at Mexico. Okay, that's number two. Number three, DACA. In 2017, Trump decided to end DACA, basically saying, that children that arrived here, they couldn't be deported. Essentially, Trump ended that shit. Basically said any child that comes into this country, they gotta go home. Okay, that's number three. Okay, number four, Biden is revoking Trump's first executive order which declared that all roughly 11 million illegal immigrants are considered as priorities for deportation. Now, what does this mean? This means that Trump decided that 11 million illegal immigrants that were here were priority for, if you were found here. Let's say if you were an illegal immigrant and you were found, you would immediately be deported as soon as you're found. I don't think people really understood that per se. Trump said, if you're not American, you don't need to be here. If you're not a legal American, you don't need to be here. Now let's scroll down to legislation here. Joe Biden is proposing for green cards this ties to that other one. Joe Biden is proposing a pathway to citizenships and green cards for those same 11 million illegal immigrants. Come on, man. Like, it don't get more clear than that. And I've been saying this probably about 2 months now. He's gonna sit here and legalize these 11 million illegal immigrants. I don't think people really understand how much money has to be spent to legalize these people, to get them the green cards, give them the visa. You understand what I'm saying? You have to get these people jobs. You have to get these people stable as American citizens. All of that money that could be going to fixing homegrown issues, specifically Black American issues. the simple fact that he would even do something like that, and I've been telling people he was going to do that, but nobody likes to listen. You know, as they say, the prophet is never welcomed in his own home, but whatever. So this means that all the shit that we went out and voted for, some people voted down ballot, I didn't vote at all, but that's neither here nor there. All the people that went out and voted Democrat basically just voted for the legalization of 11 million immigrants. Now, he has student loan debt cancellation on here as far as extending the time period for that and the home housing foreclosures. Those to me are the only somewhat pleasable bills that he actually passed outside of COVID bill signing. So what this goes to the utter disrespect of Black Americans, and I don't think people fully understand what's going on out here. Because I'm not gonna lie, this was not really the purpose of my channel per se, but it became the purpose for the time being, because Black people have, I've always said this, have the political practices of a 5-year-old, and this goes for Black people in general. But we vote for whoever makes us feel better, or we just vote out of tradition and out of, well, I gotta vote because, you know, my great grandmother voted, instead of voting out of practicality and voting out of common fucking sense. If you look on a bill or look at a presidential or any candidate's ballot and you don't see anything that lines up with you specifically, then what are you voting for them for? You know, it just blows my mind when I sit here and see people saying, go vote, go vote, go vote. And then I ask them, what are we voting for? And they said, we're voting to get Trump out of office. And then I'm like, well, what is going to happen specifically for you? And they can't tell me shit. It's like, do you not even know any of your politicians that you're voting for? But bullet points? Like, come on. I've been telling people what Biden was going to do for months now. And to see it actually happen, it's like people just don't even. Let me get off of that. Let me get on to Georgia for a second. I live in Georgia. Now, I knew this was going to happen, and this goes to one of the title of my videos, The Great Democratic Bait and Switch. Now, I remember when they was proposing this whole $600, $2,000 stimulus, and I already know this is one of the reasons why everybody went out and voted in the runoff, because everybody wants them checks. So the $600 one got passed via Trump actually saying let's do it. Then the proposal also with the $2,000, they said if we win the runoff, you will get $2,000. So now all of a sudden, but as of late, the $2,000 has become $1,400. Mysteriously out of nowhere. And now there's an article on Fox News that says Georgia voters are enraged after Democrats' promise of $2,000 checks becomes $1,400 checks. I tweeted yesterday or whenever it was, congratulations Georgians who voted for the Democrats, congratulations, you played yourself. Now, you know, a lot of times I may sound like I'm bashing the Democrats, and it's only because Black people seem to have this love affair with the Democrats to where I really don't even have to say anything about the Republicans, because it's like we just whore ourselves to the Democrats, so it's easier to bash them. But this is, come on, man. When are we gonna learn to use common sense with voting? Now, I'm going to use the $1,400 either or $2,000, either way it go. But this just proves my point of these people don't give a fuck about you, and why we as Black people have got to stick together. Now, I got to touch on this. It just came to my mind. I've been seeing a lot of Obama and Michelle worship the past 24 hours, and it's disgusting. these two people, well, not really, it's really just Obama, but these people here, Obama, should not be held in any high esteem for Black America. Let me tell you why. Obama has never, ever done anything or spoke on anything specifically about Black America. I've been seeing people compare him to Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King's birthday was the other day, and I'm like, why are we comparing a civil rights icon? And people know how I feel about some of Dr. King's stuff, but that's neither here nor there. Why are we gonna compare a civil rights icon to someone who was a presidential candidate? At least Martin's mindset was in the right place for actually doing something for Black people. Obama's mindset has never been in that specific realm. He said, I'm the president of all America. He's never said what he's going to do. I mean, I remember when all the police shootings started happening, he didn't say anything or say he's going to do an executive order. He sang Marvin Gaye, played basketball, and that's about it. So I just don't understand how people can sit here and be so enamored with the Obamas and Barack Obama when he's not even thought about doing anything for you. Obama, under his administration, he passed the healthcare bill. He passed stuff for LGBTQ. He passed stuff for women. And he did shit for immigrants. He didn't do anything specifically for Black America. The same people who I know went out and voted for this man in the millions to millions, hundreds to the tens of millions. And look at what happened. We got worse under his administration. I was telling some fool about this yesterday. Under Obama's administration, we digressed. You would think under a Black president, we would do better. You know, the inspiration of, having someone in the highest authority. No, but we did worse. Black unemployment went higher. Black incarceration went higher under him. We own no more wealth than we did during the emancipation, the civil rights era, or under Obama's administration. Then we own nothing. We own nothing here in America. So when people come at me with this Obama shit, I'm looking at them sideways like, do you not know, or do you just choose to be blind about this? But nonetheless, let me move on from that, because there's a lot of stuff I need to get to. Now, the Black Authority said this the other day, I think it was yesterday. He said that the Democrats have the House, the Democrats have the Senate, the Democrats have the White House. There are no more excuses for not producing tangibles for Black people who gave them the election, right? I would agree there should be no more excuses. I would, but according to Kamala Harris, in her own words, I'm not going to do anything specific for the Black people. No, that's exactly what she said. And Joe Biden's words is, you guys are going to have to get used to working with Hispanics. So, Black America, we need to have a conversation. This is not going to be the meat and potatoes conversation. This is going to be me treading the waters lightly, because we have a lot of work to do in the next 4 years. And I've said in the past that I did think that this was Black America's last hoorah this presidential cycle to actually get something done. But I do think that we have one more shot. I think the 2020 425, whatever year it is, I think that election will be our next deciding factor, because Joe Biden, I'm sure, will want to get a second term under his belt. So we have some serious work to do, and I think that it can get done. So I'm going to sit here and say, and I also want to bring this up right quick too. Kyrie Irving, and this I'm gonna use this to walk into my next point. A lot of people have been giving Kyrie Irving a lot of flack, and they've been giving him a lot of heat as of late because of his whole, NBA debacle, him kind of not following COVID protocols, and some of the stuff he's been saying as of late. He's been somewhat deemed a black sheep of the NBA. And Kyrie Irving does not have to say what I know he's thinking, but I'll say it for him. Kyrie Irving fully understands and is aware of what it means to be black in America. That's really what it comes down to for him, because when you're a black man in America, really black in general, but when you're a black man in America, the shit you gotta go through, this shit mentally you have to deal with, it can cause depression sometimes, because you literally can have everything in the country and literally walk outside your house and a cop, just because they feel threatened, blow your fucking brains out. You know, I remember when Kyrie Irving said that last year that we should do a split from the NBA and start our own league. I remember that brother got hella flack for saying that. But I didn't see anything wrong with him saying it. He got ridiculed for saying that, starting his own league. Kyrie Irving, he may not say it, but like I said, I'm saying it for him. He understands what it is. Seeing George Floyd die, Breonna Taylor die, all that shit happening last year. It was crazy, man. Like, the whole protest thing. Now, everybody know how I feel about the protests. I wasn't a big fan of most of them, because most of them weren't organic. They didn't come from us. It was something that was made from the dominant society that happened. But that's neither here nor there. Kyrie Irving understands what it means to be black in America. And I'm using this to walk into the point of we all we got out here, fam. I don't care if you identify as ADOS, FBA, B1, American descendants of freedmen, native black, descendants of American slaves. I don't give a fuck. You are my tribe. You are my brethren. You are my sisters. We all come from the same lineage. And what I've been seeing recently has, first off, I'm gonna say that I kind of knew we would come to this point, but I'm still not happy about it. I'm never happy about division, because while I am happy about division under certain circumstances. I feel that the us dividing ourselves or differentiating ourselves or making ourselves a lineage, I think that was very good for us to do, because while I do subscribe to the Pan-Africanist mindset, I do believe that we do need to differentiate ourselves as a lineage. As a lineage. I think that was very smart on us to do, to sit here and say, listen, we're going to look out for ourselves, and it's no disrespect to other people, but we're going to look out for ourselves, and we're going to look out for our interest group. Cool. I think that was a great idea to do that. So in that sense, I do think that division was good for us. But what's been going on as of late, all of this doxing and all of this, we don't need to be doing this, we don't need to be associating with that. I think that we need to put some of these differences to the side and get back to the work. Because I remember in 2019, when I first found out about the whole, ADOS acronym, and FBA, I'm not gonna lie, I found out about ADOS through Tariq Nasheed, so I'm gonna trade this lightly. That's how I found out about Yvette and Tone. I found out about them through Tariq, because Tariq has a bigger following, so I can't really you understand what I'm saying? He would retweet they shit, I would see ADOS, and okay, that's cool, I fuck with that. I remember in 2019 there was a unity between the two hashtags, ADOS, FBA, B1. Everybody was on the same page. It wasn't no division. We were literally a online force to be reckoned with, because everybody was on that ass about reparations, intangibles, and shit we needed. We literally changed the verbiage that politicians would use. just from being an online presence. I remember seeing politicians say shit like tangibles and saying shit as far as even the reparations conversation in general. We did that. And then the split happened between Tariq and Yvette and Tone. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole who started what and I'm not going to get into all that. We in 2021 need to understand that the work is more important than the beefs. And I say a lot on Twitter. I say a lot. But it's some stuff I don't say. Because, you know, what you put out into the universe, you know, you can think it in your head and you can, you know, put it into your mental computer, but when you put it out into the universe, when you actually say it out loud, you know, you don't ever want to falsely jump the gun on something. So if you go back on my Twitter timeline, I never have said anything, you know, I've never ever said anything to the effect of ADOS versus FBA or B1. I've never ever really even touched on that argument until me and my brother Jared did our broadcast. And I expect, if you want a full entailed like synopsis of my mindset on all of this shit, go watch that video. But I've never got online and actually said anything about ADOS, FBA, B1. I watch that back. I will use the hashtag B1, but for other reasons than just what other people may know. I use B1 to sit here and say black first and everything, because that's my lifestyle. Black first and everything. When I get through with this broadcast, I'm literally going to buy a t-shirt from a black owned shop. The King t-shirt I wore in the video of me and Jared, I got it from a black owned business. It was a chick on Twitter. You know, her and her family, they have a little business. I supported it. So that's what B1 means to me. Black person, everything. That's a lifestyle for me. You understand? If I can support a black owned business, I will. But I'm gonna start off by apologizing to and it's not really an apology because I did anything wrong. It's more so an apology because I didn't support this sooner. The ADOS chapters, they've been under a lot of heat as of late. And I'm not gonna lie, division sometimes makes me stand back because, you know, sometimes you don't want to get caught in crossfires, but I have to apologize to the ADOS chapters and commend them for the work that they have been doing. I recently was, you know, me and Marlon Watson chopped it up, you know, and I told him, you know, hey bro, I send Lance anything you need from me, I'm down. These people are doing the work. Now I could care less about the little beefs, the little arguments. These people are doing the work. You understand? The ADOS chapters, regardless of how people feel about them, they're doing the work, and that's what we got to get back to. These people are literally pushing for legislation to happen. Now, like I said, I'm not going to get into all other shit about it, but these people are here doing the work. The ADOS chapters. You understand what I'm saying? Friday Jones, Marlon Watson, etc. They are doing the work and we need to push these people and keep them uplifted in what they're doing. Now, I don't know what they're gonna do about the name. If they're gonna change it or whatever the case is, that's none of my business. But we as black people are all we have out here. We don't need to be arguing over shit that just don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, we don't, because look at what's going on in this political landscape right now. Think about this for a second, and I'm gonna tie this into the shit that happened at the U.S. Capitol building. These white folk went up there and acted a pure nut. I don't think people really understand what went down that day. These white people said what they was gonna do on social media, did it. Not only did it, they had nooses, they had wooden beams, they had Confederate flags, they had AR-15s. They went up there ready. They went up there armed, locked, and loaded, and ready to go at anybody that stood in their way. Now, we as black people have been saying, well, we could never do that. That's a backhanded, that's a double-edged sword thing that we have been saying about ourselves. For one, that tells, that's actually a triple. For one, that says we're not organized. You know how organized you got to be to do what they did? And to be honest with you, that was unorganized in a sense to what they did. But they organized in their disorganization because they really didn't do shit. But that shows that, for one, they were organized, they were united, and for one, that they have instilled fear into the American law enforcement eyes that we never can't do. And have not done it. Like I said, went up there armed with AR-15s, wood beams, nooses, and a bunch of other shit. They were organized. Let's talk about us for a second. Now, when we march and do our shit, we don't have no straps. We literally go up there with a picket sign and a universal chant, singing hymns, and then we get bust at. We're target practice, essentially. Not to mention, we go out there dancing. They don't look at you. They don't look at you seriously. They don't. They look at you as literally just people. It's a choir. It's a big ass choir. That's what they look at us as when we go out there saying "We shall overcome" and shit like that. They don't look at us seriously. They look at us as a bunch of people who go out here and make noise. These white folk went up there and handled business. Now, I don't agree with how they handled their business, but they went up there and handled business. Whereas black folk, when we march, we have signs, and that's it. So, and like I've already said, this clearly was an inside job. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. It was an inside job that the Democrats and the Republicans knew about. You're not finna sit here and tell me that these people who announced what they was gonna do on social media and nobody decided to defend that goddamn building. I see bullshit, clearly. And they already been saying that this was an inside job. But I think it's a lot deeper than what they're gonna say, because of course they'll never sit here and give the full entire story on something. But that's neither here nor there. That there showed their power. And do I think it's over for them? No. I think they're gonna do more shit at a later date, because they're gonna let you can't just keep doing shit over and over again. And I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, but I got a feeling this ain't it for them. But that's neither here nor there. That showed that these people are serious. The dominant society doesn't look at us that way. They look at us as a bunch of noisemakers. And with this whole, whatever you want to call it online, like, come on, man. Like I said, we gotta support those out here doing the work. I don't care what anybody says. If you out here doing the work, I salute you. Keep doing what you're doing. And that's pretty much all there is to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I said, even though I really didn't do anything, I have to apologize to the ADOS child, because they out here doing the work. And I have to apologize for not supporting their work sooner. You understand what I'm saying? Because they out here really, really doing the work, man. Like, we got to get back to that. Like, that's just simply put what it is. I think that if we sit here and support these people, and if we give them our full attention, and that's why I said, brother Marlon, listen, if there's anything you need from me, I'm down. Like, because this is what it's all about. Be one, black first, everything. Let's get these, come on, man, let's get to the work. Let's get some shit passed. Like, I'm even going to sit here and start supporting Tamara Johnson-Shealy. I'm not going to lie, I thought she dropped out the race last year. because I stopped seeing stuff as far as her running around on Twitter. I couldn't even find her shit on Twitter. I thought she took her shit down. She just dropped out the race. Come to find out a couple days ago through BTP that she's still doing her thing. And that due to certain reasons, you know, she lost a little bit of traction. But I'm going to make sure I support her and what she got going on. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I want to do this broadcast. I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, let everybody know, like, listen, we got to get back to business. I don't care about the little petty differences between FBA, B1, ADOS. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. And neither should you. And if anybody is telling you not to work with somebody because of a so-called acronym in a bio description, then you really need to be asking yourself what is wrong with them if they telling you that. Because we all descend from the same slave plantation. So who gives a shit? As long as they ain't out here cooning it up, tap dancing for white mommy and white daddy, I don't give a fuck. If they sit here and say we need reparations, I'm down with it. Listen, I may sit here and say that we need black-owned businesses, but am I gonna sit here and bash another brother because he say we need to push for top politics? Fuck no, we do both. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this goes to my whole thing of intellectual gangbanging, man. Like, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I created the phrase, but I think I might be somebody that's making it more popular again to say this shit. We need to get out of that intellectual gangbanging shit, man. It don't matter about the pathway. We need to be doing everything we can, because we all we got out here, man. We are literally, with Biden passing this 11 million illegal immigrant bill, that will make our numbers smaller in this country. They have already said that by 2040 this will be a majority country of color. That could mean a series of things. That basically just means that whites will be a minority here. And the way they're going right now, they're going to try and rule by an apartheid state. Peep game. You need to get your shit together and put these differences aside. Come on, period, point blank. If you know anything about the apartheid in South Africa, it's where the white minority controls all of the resources in a majority black country. That's power right there. And if we don't get our shit together, we are literally going to be irrelevant in the political landscape. We are going to be irrelevant. We're already becoming irrelevant. Like, we already dropped the ball this past election cycle. We did. We dropped the ball. We got to take that as what it is. We took an L. I don't care what anybody said. We took an L. And we got to get back to what needs to go down, what needs to happen. That's why I said, like I said, I had to sit here and apologize to the IDOS chapters. I didn't support them soon. I got to own that. You understand what I'm saying? I got to own that shit. But I'm with them. And you need to be with whoever is down to do the work, to do what needs to be done. Because the Democrats and the Republicans, as long as you don't sit here and do the work, they will work against you. And that's all I got to say on that right there, man. You understand what I'm saying? I could care less about, like I said, the little beefs, who don't like who. Let that shit go, man. Because we are literally the last of a dying breed, and if we want our names to be memorized as a group, if we want our group to be remembered in history with something, then we will put this little he say, she say shit to the side. And like I said, I'm not trying to really get into all that other shit because I really don't too much care, to be honest with you. And I also will say this: if dead weight needs to be considered, if dead weight is dead weight, then let it be dead weight. And that's all I'm pretty much gonna say on that note right there, because these people are out here playing chess and we're out here playing checkers. Matter of fact, we're still playing chess with one another instead of sitting here and saying, forget this game, let's work together to defeat them. I saw an article the other day that said that Bill Gates owns the most, I think, farmland and agriculture or some shit like that in the United States. Now, what the fuck does Bill Gates, a non-college educated CEO of a computer company, Microsoft, what is he doing owning that much farmland? What is this man Bill Gates involved in vaccines so much for? That's not even his lane. And look at what this man is doing. These people are moving in ways that we can't even fathom and think of, man. And I gotta get back on my conspiracy theory shit. I ain't gonna lie, I've been a little off as of late, because I've been trying to hammer to niggas that we need to focus on fighting for reparations. If you're not fighting for reparations, the tangibles, then I don't know what the fuck you doing. That's priority number one for me still to this day. And I gotta make sure that priority number two, because I've dropped the ball on it, is get on my conspiracy theory shit, because, and I got something coming for y'all within the next 3 to week or so. I know Tariq is coming out with his buck breaking film, but I got some shit of my own to talk about with this whole transhumanism shit. I got to get my research and shit together, make sure I got my notes. I haven't even had my notepad as of late. Y'all know me, I have a notepad with notes ready to go, so I can actually give the people information on stuff they don't know. But nonetheless, we gotta get back to work, and that's all there really is to it. Like I said, Bill Gates owning up all this land. Why does that nigga ain't need all of this land? They trying to push the vaccine on us. We ain't got time to be sitting here playing games with these folks. 11 million illegal immigrants. I'm a stay on that shit there, bro. 11 million illegal immigrants will get citizenship. We got too much work to do to be out here fighting, fam. And that's all there is to it. But nonetheless, man, if y'all would like to get some free stocks or get crypto, hit my Robinhood link or my Coinbase link in the description. And that's all there really is to it. Like and subscribe to the channel. Peace, y'all.